pledge allegiance among the tongues.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The meeting is recorded and on audio as usual. Executive session. Is there a need to go into executive session? Okay. You had a chance to review the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Domestic relations, case intake enforcement officer, who would like to present?
I guess I will. It's a great replacement for Mike Barr. Julie Finch, her husband, works at Human Services.
Very good. Judge, did you have anything to add?
One of the things that was in the letter that the director presented was that there would be a savings since the insurance was already provided by another county physician. I don't know if you...
That is not true because of being at Human Services. The way the funding is set up, she will have to take insurance for herself through domestic relations.
Okay, so this is for one individual then?
This is actually rated at family, so it will be a bit cheaper than this.
Right, so that's not accurate information then on there. Okay, thank you.
We're not allowed to take that into consideration anyway. Very well. Do I hear a motion to approve the hiring of Julie Finch?
So moved.
Second. And to be clear, this will be for a rate of $13.87 an hour, full-time union. Any questions about the motion? Very well, the motion is to approve the hiring of Julie Finch at $13.87 an hour, full-time union. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Human Services. Would you want to just explain all three and take them all as one motion?
Sure. What we've discovered a few things as we've gone through with the retiring of our previous human resources director, that there were some errors in the funding. One of them was with one of our past social services aides, that she had college education, so she should have been paid at the higher rate. The rate increase, we have two sets of rates that have been approved by the state, so she has not been paid at her rate that had been approved by the state, so that's why that's going back and looking at that with that correction.
Are we backdating?
Well, we're going back to as far as when she was hired and we received the information, the verification. And then, so going forward, her rate would be adjusted, as would be Michelle, who is the new SSA taking the place of Sydney Blair. She actually has a 4-year degree. She interviewed for a caseworker position, but didn't have the experience, and so she was agreeable to come on board as a CSSA. And then the next children and youth caseworker position, she'd have more experience and be able to step into that position, hopefully, with having some experience in children and youth. So that's the three.
Anything to add?
She seems like she's going to be a great fit, too.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
So, I'm trying to understand. We got two for this person, right?
Right. This is going back to the date and adjusting her salary at the rate it should have been.
Right.
So that's what this one is, and that would take her up to the current, her rate.
From where this drops off?
Right.
Okay.
So just making that back adjustment.
So the total, you got this amount here, right?
Right.
But there's not an individual amount here.
Okay.
I see the county dollars.
Right, because the rate would just be adjusted.
Okay.
with the salary bonus benefit
This
breakdown.
goes back 3 years? Is that permitted?
The state will permit it to go back. We'll just have to do an addendum to the closing records. And actually, the auditor's there now, Paul's there. So we did discuss it with him, how to adjust the books.
Yeah, and then it would reflect the 17 income for her?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, she'd have to go,
Yeah.
back through and reopen her
Refile.
Yeah.
That's yours.
her taxes. So,
Okay, so I get a question going to this. Is there any other issues with any other employees?
no. She was the only one because we actually, the social service aid position seemed to be pretty, we don't have a high turnover in those
Okay.
positions, so she's obviously been there. And actually, our other CSSA that was in that position, social services aid, the other one who had been in there had left the area
Okay.
and then came back, so she's actually a rehire. So we have 3 positions,
Okay.
the 3 in that. So
Okay.
she'll fill the vacant of Sydney that left about
Okay.
a month ago.
All right.
For Commissioner Eggleston's benefit, Mary, would you please re-explain, I guess?
Sure. This is the social services aid position that I think we talked about a little bit, but we had the 2 rates the state had approved, but we had this individual had not been paid accurately. For some reason, I don't know if it was just an oversight by our previous HR director, that when that information was sent to fiscal, the rate wasn't, it wasn't noted that she had college, so she has enough college credits to qualify for an associate's. So we were paying her at a wrong rate. She was paid at the no education rate instead of having college education. Our current one that's coming in, Michelle, she actually has college. She has a 4-year degree. She had interviewed as a caseworker and didn't get selected for that position, but she came in to apply for the social services aid, hopefully to get some children and youth experience with her. So, and she'll be paid at the correct rate that's approved by the state.
Very well. Any more questions for Mary or Keith? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the pay adjustment for Carrie Catalfu in the amount of $5,013.17, as well as adjust her salary to $26,325 annually, full-time with benefits.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is second. Any questions or clarifications on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then second was for Michelle. Same salary, correct? Same position. Okay. I would entertain a motion to hire Michelle Cantrell.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, that was a tie.
Which
Pick one.
To be clear, this motion would be to hire Michelle Cantrell at a salary of $26,325 an hour, full-time with benefits, annually, full-time with benefits. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Anything else to bring to the board?
I do. I had a part-time person in my office that had to resign due to personal reasons. So I no longer have a part-time employee.
You have a date on that, Denny?
Or
can you get me one,
I can
please?
get you one, yes.
So you'll need to repost that?
I don't know if posting's going to do any good. It's hard to find for the nature of it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the commissioners and I have a discussion about maybe ideas on how to cover it.
Okay.
Because it's intermittent. It's hard to have, to find somebody. I mean, I found this person was ideal, but it's just things that prevented it from happening. And there's another person that, could have family come into town that would take a preference over working. So it's tough because it's not a regular schedule.
Right.
It's periodic.
Okay.
So I think we got to look for other opportunities, other methods. Possibly.
Well, if you're interested, Kim Exley has the floating position, so.
Yeah, probably have us, it should be needed in both offices at some point in time, so that's what I want to
Right.
talk about.
Well, I mean, during periods, yeah. I mean, now they're going to be pretty quiet for a while.
Yeah, but we'll get to a point in the June timeframe,
Yeah,
June,
sure.
July.
Well, that could get us through the year, though. All right, we
We'll
can
talk about that.
have a separate
Because
conversation. about it.
it's a tough position to fill
Right.
with the nature of it.
All right, anything else from board members?
Yes, I thought that another matter was on the agenda about the PACES administrative position and DRS being reclassified. If that isn't or wasn't discussed, what I'll do is just reserve it for the next meeting. Was that?
I didn't get anything.
Did you get anything? Okay, if that's the case, then we'll just do that next meeting.
No, I did not get anything about reclassifying it.
Okay,
So
thank you.
So help me understand what you're
What happened is it's a position in domestic relations that requires imaging and training. So it was at one point a position that was created in 1998 when the domestic relations office became a statewide computer system when that was first implemented. And it's really blossomed and grown into a position that is more management at this point than labor. And that's the concern. So the concern is that it should be reclassified. The problem is that there's not a lot of other positions that I could find statewide that would address all of the requirements. One is that every aspect of the domestic relations systems that is online, the person is certified to train all employees. And they were asking for a slight increase in pay. I believe it was $3 per hour based on the 34% and the 6% contribution of Forest County on those positions. There's a whole mathematical computation, but without you having the time to study that, I don't think that's fair to you today to just throw it on the agenda. I thought it had been addressed and I didn't know it hadn't.
I'm sorry.
So,
Well, we'll certainly get it on the agenda for the next meeting.
okay.
Sorry about that. Anything else from the board? Any comment from the public or other employees? Very well, the next meeting will be November 13th here at this conference room. I would now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Another tie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.